YKS Premium. I'm JF, and I'm looking at my good buddy Mike right now, who's looking, I gotta say, Mike, you're looking very refreshed. You're looking very healthy. I think you're glowing a little bit as well.
This has been the worst morning of my life, Jeff. I feel so bad.
No, come on now. Come on. What are you talking about? We feel great. We had a great freaking couple of freaking days here, dude.
We had an awesome couple of days of wellness together. We went on a wellness retreat.
Yes.
It was awesome. We learned a lot about each other. We did a lot of fun games and exercises.
It was, I gotta say, it was really hard not to masturbate while we were away at our wellness retreat, because I
weren't
really
even in the
to.
woods. It's like,
yeah,
if you're in the woods, that's the green light to masturbate. Right. Universally agreed.
Yeah.
Once you step foot in the woods,
yeah,
just fucking go after it. But
yeah,
you
what is the phrase? Is it if green ye see, then squirting you'll be? Is that what it is?
That's the old adage.
Is that the old adage? But then there's got to be the second part too that indicates when you're inside you can't come.
If leaf see crunch, jack off a bunch. It's for good luck.
Right.
The pioneers used to do it.
Yeah. But if there's carpet under toe, no. no. Yeah, that's right. I remember reading that in an almanac, I think, at one point. Yeah. We finally decided to get well, because I think it started with like, we're sick of this, so let's get well. It's sort of where we started.
We said we're sick of being sick.
Yes.
Enough is enough.
Sick and tired.
And we're not going to go to one of these doctors or healthcare professionals like they have in some of these major hospitals.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say pill pusher? Is that what you said?
We're not going to go to some, guy who's like accredited or something like that to feel better. No, we're going to seek out some holistic type pseudoscience and participate in that for some reason.
My only problem was that I couldn't find a baby chiropractor that would work on me. That was my only issue, because they all want to be, the only guys who will work on me are the chiropractors. I actually wanted one of the baby guys to do me. I wanted one of the baby guys to do me. Yeah.
I've had a headache behind my eye for the past few days. It's not going away.
Is that true?
Yeah. A bad headache. You have a headache at all?
I've never had a headache in my life.
You're fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, I'm fit as a fiddle. Right. Whatever. It's not important. Well, we'll talk about our wellness journey. It's a spiritual journey. It's a wellness journey. We'll talk about that.
I'm sick.
In a little bit. You're fine. You're fine. I think before we get into it, I did want to take this time, especially because this is such good timing on our part to talk about this, because Dan is with us. Dan is sitting in with us on the recording as he so often does, but he actually is really not able to participate in any meaningful way.
Sure I am. What are you talking about?
Okay, everyone's having a visceral reaction to the way that you sound right now. Dan's setup is behind lock and key. So the problem was he was cranking off too much, and this is a problem for the Canadian authorities. They kicked down the door. They said, "There's too much cranking off in here. You're not even in the woods," is what they said. Yeah. You're not even in the woods, and you're in here just beating your thing like crazy. We're going to have to shut this down for a few days until we figure out what's going on. So they cordoned off his setup, and we're on a backup setup with Dan right now. So he's going to sound like he's in a Canadian black site is what it's going to sound like, but he's not really. He's just in his place.
Yeah, I'm just on my couch instead now.
Yeah, sounds awful. It looks even worse.
It's not good over there. They're going to have to tear that place down.
There's barely any bisexual lighting in the place at all. I don't even know how you...
Yeah, it's all that here, baby.
I don't know how you live. Well, but I thought it would be worthwhile to talk about the... Did you listen to the Blocked Party episode of YKS, Mike? They're doing their big sweeps week. I'm not trying to do an ad for these guys. They're doing their big sweeps week over there where they imitate other shows. and they did take us down a peg or lift us up, depending on your perspective, with their episode on Monday. Did you get a chance to hear it?
I didn't hear it. I heard that it was. I heard that everybody thought it was great, but not as great as the original. I heard, so they were like, it's almost as good as the real one. So
right,
you try. What did Kirstie Alley say?
Thanks for your input.
Thanks for your input.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that they were able to get anywhere close maybe should make us kind of reevaluate. This is not.
It was all me. If I wasn't there, they would have been fucked, basically.
Right.
Dan wasn't steering the ship.
Apparently, and I didn't know this was possible to get your producer to do all of your research and prep for the show, and then actually, while you're doing the show, is like operating basically virtually your computer. Somehow the producer, you're just sitting there. What are you doing with your hand? You know what? Now that I mention it, I don't want to know what these guys were doing with their hands while he was operating their right with those guys.
It was in the woods. They recorded in the woods.
They did record in the woods, which we've been talking about doing that, and then they finally go and do it. I thought it was a very funny episode. I kind of enjoyed seeing it from the other side, where it was like, I don't know what Kickstarter is coming up next. I can kind of get the raw thrill that listeners of this show have had for years.
Yeah, edge of your seat podcasting.
Yeah, because you kind of go like, oh shit, wait a minute. They just did one that was like some kind of crazy piece of tech. I wonder if the next one will be like poo-poo related or something.
Yeah. It raised $6,300 of, is he going to say it? $8,000.
I thought it was, I don't know. I felt good. It was, they were very deferential, I think, to the original, which I really appreciate. I felt that love and respect, that you get from a colleague in the industry. I thought that was really cool to feel.
They say anything nice about me? That's all I care about.
I don't believe you came up. It was mostly about me.
Damn it.
Quit dick on there, didn't we? We said DB has a huge cog on it.
Well, it's obvious you guys didn't do your research for the episode. Keep at it, guys.
there was a lot about how often Dan had seen your wiener, which I don't think, as far as I know, has never actually happened. This was all
we're on here before you get on showing each other.
Okay.
Our worms and shit like that.
I try to jump on when it's time to start. I don't realize you guys have all this extra time to goof off with your ding-a-lings.
Yeah. Dan has a little top hat and cane for his, and he does the Michigan J Frog thing. And he
no, because every time I get on, I keep telling it to wake up, damn it, wake up. It's limp and nothing's happening.
When you go off screen, hello, my honey.
But it was nice to hear. It was nice to get that sort of, one side of the coin of the, the reverence, and the respect. And then on the way over to your place, as I was picking you up to go to our IV therapy appointment, which is what we did for today's show, I was finishing up an episode of another one of our friend shows, the Doughboys podcast. I was enjoying that episode. They did I think, was it Goop Kitchen? I think is what they did, which I had no idea even.
I don't know what that is.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's restaurant that has spun off.
She was only doing a magazine.
No,
Wow.
It's like a store. Yeah, but it's like a restaurant. And the crazy thing about it, spoiler alert here, if you haven't heard the episode, it turns out it's actually a pretty decent spot to grab some lunch. So
Ooh.
very, very weird, big surprise as far as I'm concerned. But having heard Blocked Party and then flipping over to the Doughboys and then hearing them do a very familiar to me game where the idea was presented that maybe some of these things that I'm saying out loud right now are actually from the real world, do actually exist. In this case, it was fake cereal brands, knockoff cereal brands. But then some of the brands also being said were not actually, you might almost call them fake.
We're doing like a real or fake thing.
They were doing kind of like a real or fake thing.
Interesting.
Which was interesting. And I think the takeaway for me was that basically after the first one, Mitch was saying true or false instead of real or fake, which it made me go, why didn't I think of that? That's so perfect, right? True or yeah, obviously, right? It's right there. But also Also, listening to it and being like, you know what, getting myself worked up in the car. This is our fucking idea. I can't believe everyone's doing real or fake now.
Yeah.
Everyone heard how good. That's what happened. They heard our show, or their associate producer heard our show and heard how successful real or fake was, and says, I'm going to take this to our much more successful and funnier show, and I'm going to do it on there, right? And then Mitch getting halfway through it and going like, how many more are left? And this game sucks. Was
It's like the only thing we have, man.
It's our only idea. They hated it so
sucks.
much.
Can you imagine doing this for like a whole thing? That's why I don't listen to podcasts.
You can't listen to other podcasts. But
My heart broke. I don't like being the butt of the joke.
Right.
Guys. All right.
Right.
Making fun of our show.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Our show. All right.
That was but that was really good. That was really good for me to hear. I also wanted to give an update on my global entry. This is from last week, Mike. I talked about my global entry interview that I did.
What? No, I remember.
Come on, you remember, right?
Just playing Big Dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
How could I forget? Everybody was lighting up the Discord messages and the email inbox and the voicemail saying, give us an update, please, on the fucking thing you're doing.
What if you just wait? You want an update from me? Why don't you just wait and you flip on the Doughboys? Now Mitch is talking about, I just got global entry.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I can't even imagine. I did manage to go.
Yeah.
I
got
did
all
manage
your
to,
forms.
I remembered my correct passport this time. But I will say they did throw me for another loop here. I get in there and I sit down. There's one other lady there. By the way, I took pictures of the sign I was talking about in the shitty waiting room. I'll send them to you. The shitty pictures of the waiting room. But I got in there and then one other lady was there, and the guy came out and said, "Okay, what time was you guys' appointments?" So mine was at 1:50, right? 10 to 2.
What time was y'all's appointments?
That's what it was. And I said, okay, well, mine was, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have said it like this, but he said, what time was your appointment? I said 10 minutes ago. I didn't mean that it was like, y'all are late. I just meant it was sort of shorthand for I'm on time.
He was
because
like, I'll get to you in a minute.
Right this way, sir. The big sign says Guantanamo Bay this way. But the other lady said, I'm actually not sure. It was 2:00. And the other lady said, I'm not sure if it was 3:00 Central or 3:00 Eastern.
Hell no, bro.
And because she drove from Chattanooga up to the place. So she drove like 2 hours to get to the place probably.
Yeah.
And didn't know what time zone the thing was. And I felt like if this is the type of chuckle fuck they have to deal with in here all the time, then I'm probably going to pass this thing with flying colors, right? I'm prepared. I have my correct passport this time. And I immediately go in and I sit down, and both of the agents in there are staring at me, and they go, that's cool. Is that Beavis and Butthead on your shirt?
Oh, man, you wore the YKS shirt. Can't wear that out the house.
Yeah, I wore it to Customs and Border Protection.
Okay,
and
so they're listening to this right now.
Yeah, probably. And I said, no, it's actually me. This is actually me on here.
You could have just said, this is our podcast.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Yeah, I guess I could have, but he did ask. But the other thing is because they're also like grilling you, right?
Oh,
so,
yeah, fuck. They're the cops. I forgot.
Yeah, so he was like, so what do you do? It says here on your
What do you talk about?
He said, it says here on your application you listed an entertainer because you never know how generic you can get away with on one of these forms.
You started that off with a lie. Now you got to backtrack, fill it all in.
But I said, actually, this is where the shirt is from. It's from my show. It's from my podcast that I do.
Yeah.
And so then he was like asking like if I'm traveling internationally, and I said no. And obviously the follow-up was going to be, why would you want this then? Why are you here? Why are you wasting my time? So then he thought I was lying about not leaving the country. He was like, so do you ever work out of the country? And I was like, oh, fuck, no, I would never do that. Like, I would never.
Yeah, I love
it's
the
not
United
like
States, bro. Why would I would never go work somewhere else.
really brutal. And then he says, all right, well, go ahead and take your hat off. I'm going to take your picture. Didn't realize there was a photograph being taken either. So
You got your global entry photo with the YKS shirt on.
absolutely. With my hat hair. Hat hair and the YKS Beavis and Butthead logo right below, and me going, and that's going to be my picture for 5 years. I'll be 40 and presenting this picture to.
They did you dirty. That woman that you cut off in the line or whatever you said.
I know.
We're so nasty too. That was the TSA agent's mom, and he took it out on you.
That explains why I was treated so badly there. But I will say I was in and out. And I got the approval before I even got home. So I'm good to go. So you ought to go do it. You should go do it.
For what?
Just so I don't have to be the only one who
have something to talk about. That's what it's come down to, JF. We're going out and doing stuff just to have stuff to talk about. It's pathetic.
Isn't that bad, leaving the house so that you have more life experiences and stuff?
Insane. Nah, this was fun though. This little adventure, it was great.
I had a lot of fun. I noticed. I don't know if you noticed this. These places are cropping up, I think, everywhere. The intravenous vitamin drip wellness zones. I feel like they're in strip malls. I've seen them basically everywhere I go. I see a new one opening up.
Party cities,
Right.
These people doing it for. So this is an IV saline drip rehydration therapy thing that we did because I couldn't tell you why, but
right.
They're all over the place because they're like, I'm like, well, fucking, how much money does it cost to like inject somebody? You got to pay like a nurse or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you got to get the materials or whatever. But
well,
vibe.
Look, my feeling on this was they got the foothold with the hangover places or the hangover vans, right?
Yeah.
And I think Nashville being such a bachelorette city, that people, I think it's maybe not completely crazy for a few of these to pop up where they go like, hey, you've heard of the party bus. How about the after party bus?
Right. It's like a stop on the bachelorette party thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we'll go here and get the rehydration or whatever. I don't know.
Which I've never really understood. I don't know. Was that ever something? Do you ever remember having a hangover and needing to get an IV drip? Were you ever that bad off?
Need to get an IV drip. I feel like this has started at like Miami, somewhere down there. But I've never partied so hard I needed an IV drip. It's just probably just wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m. like dehydrated and stumbling around and being like, drink a big thing of Kool-Aid and be like, well, I'm up for the day.
That is a bad feeling, though. That is brutal.
It's not good.
That is a really bad feeling.
What we should have done is done a bunch of drugs and stuff and done a bunch of drinking beforehand and then seen if it worked.
Honestly, that's 2 episodes, though.
I guess we'll have to go back.
Mike may not be going back to the place anytime soon. We had an interesting time there. I wasn't super familiar with this variety of wellness. I don't even know what you would call. I actually don't know what you are legally allowed to call this, which I think is an important distinction to make here. What can you say about this place that won't get you in trouble? Yeah,
I was looking for information about it or whatever. I was writing something up about it last night. Well after we had actually gone. Because why would I look it up?
Well, you don't know because you if you go there and you've already made up your mind,
all the research.
It's not really fair. I think you just need to go in totally blank. You don't know what it is. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing there. When someone asks you, what would you like to do today or why are you here? You're supposed to say, I don't know. That's what you say to them when you walk in. And that means you're just an open book. You're ready for all these different experiences.
Yeah.
And that's what we were. Well, look, there's a whole menu of different things to try, even at this one particular place, but there's a ton of other places as well. I guess these places started. Well, first of all, it's one of those where I think I'm normally willing to chalk this up to being having a dad's brain, but I know there are people from all walks of life who share this particular what do you call a thing when there's something wrong with you? What do you call that? It's a picadillo, I think I have, where I'm always seeing what new business is opening up in a place. Like it drives me crazy when there's a new place being built and it's the sign that says financing is being provided by.
I know, that's annoying. The bank. It's like, I don't give a fuck.
You think, I better walk my ass over to M&T Bank right now. Looks like they're doing a great job providing the financing for the new building over there. What the fuck?
Like I'm stoked for the bank. What are you talking about?
Oh, wow. Looks like that bank has money to hand out.
Another one by the team at Regions Bank. That's so awesome.
Fuck. It's that, and it's the realtor signs that say, like, so-and-so closed $15 million in deals this quarter. How the hell does that help me?
It just makes me hate that person more. Is that the point? Do you want me to attack this guy?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
But you're doing a damn good job.
That's what all the billboards and stuff are telling me. You want me to attack this guy? What do you want from me? Yeah, he's more successful than me. You want me to go to his house? All right.
That's really cool. You're having like you're having the delusions.
The Obey sunglasses. I'm seeing all the behind the advertisements and stuff.
Your neighbor's dog keeps telling you who to attack. That always drives me crazy when it's just and I'm also, the other thing people don't understand is you put up the sign that says funding provided by, Ascend Credit Union. And I'm like craning my neck over to see what is going to go in there if it's a place I can eat. And this is dangerous because traffic is, crazy. So if I slam into the back of somebody's car, because I want to see if there may be a place for me to get a hamburger in 9 months, you know what I mean? Like it's dangerous. Is
Ascend Credit Union going to pay for the damages? No, they're going to tell you to get on down the road with that nonsense.
Oh, did you make your will pay for the damages deposit credit fee?
No, were you looking at the road? No, I barely am ever. It has nothing to do with it. Make the text bigger on your signs and say whether it's a chicken spot or a hamburger spot. That's all we want.
Were you wearing your seatbelt? Was your husband wearing his seatbelt? No, of course he wasn't. But that's not going to bring him back. But a hamburger restaurant might. So it's tough to look up, but I'm always looking over to see what new is going in a place. And I'm always looking to see when a place that used to be one thing is now another thing. And I'm thinking about like, oh shit, now it's like a whole different, they have to do like a whole different thing in there now.
But they're probably using the same plumbing fixtures and stuff. How are they setting that up inside? That's interesting. I know this is going to sound like we're all talking about banks all episode, which believe me, I could go. And I know that talking about banks is like really popular on YouTube and stuff, like as far as like who's in charge of them and stuff like that. I know that's like a big topic on YouTube, and I'd love to get into it because I'd love trying to get to the bottom of it.
I'd love to see the numbers go up on this if I could come up with some conspiracy about banks. I just can't think of one right now, but I have noticed that I can't remember what it is, but some local business is now going in where a bank used to be. And by the way, it's not a bank. So it's like now you've got like those ATM things on the outside, like the covered places. Like, what do you do how do you repurpose the fun little vacuum chute that you can send the money and checks up into?
Can't do it.
That's just wasted. Are you going to give it to somebody?
Do it with like a taco or something, put that through there, but you can't do it you'd have to do it for all the foods, and you're not going to fit a crunch wrap or a quesadilla in that.
Although
you'd have to ball it up or something.
Well, just get my postman on the job there. He'll take care of it.
My postman taking strays. What the fuck?
Oh, though the Crunchwrap Supreme won't fit into the chute because of the crunchy inner shell. Not a problem.
Give it to me. I handle Mike's vinyl records.
Anyways, but I've noticed the IV places are popping up. I think the IV place, I think one of them over here is where, was it a bank that it used to be? Or was it did it used to be something else? I don't know what it used to be. But I noticed that going up for a long time. They had a big sign on the main road, like coming soon, IVs. And I just thought, like, who is this for? Why would this ever exist? And
I thought you were saying IVs. Who is this for? Who's for coming? You're like, who the fuck is for? Who the fuck is that? All the way home, you're thinking about it.
I don't think about the Roman numerals every day. Did you see that thing when that was going around? Did you see that when that was happening?
How often does your man think about
Yeah.
I guess we thought about it today, Jay. We think about it every day now.
There's one day in the streak book. Fuck. Let's see if we can keep it going. Remind me tomorrow to think about Roman numerals, and we'll see how long we can.
Ask me tomorrow if I've thought about it.
So I don't know. I didn't really understand who this is for, but in the meantime, I have gotten more and more into, and I think I mentioned this on the show, I've gotten more and more into the alternative medicine TikToks have been popping up for me.
That rocks.
I don't know what to make of it. I really don't, because sometimes you get stuff in the algorithm and it necessitates a little bit of introspection, right? Mm-hmm, you start kind of thinking about, like,
is this my fault that I'm seeing this?
What did I do to generate this? What is it that is part of my, my interest? Like sometimes, how we've talked about before, like with our ISPs, like our IP addresses will show like a different zip code than we're actually in.
Yeah.
So you can kind of track backwards, like, okay, they think I'm in Atlanta, so that's why they're showing me this Atlanta restaurant. But I'm, of course, not going to go to Atlanta for a restaurant, so I can easily swipe on this and it won't be a concern for me. But when it comes to energy healing, Mike, and Reiki massages, and we're talking about like pull. You ever have your energy pulled?
Yeah. All the time.
That's the one. Is that the one that's the one maintenance thing you're doing?
I have a guy come over and pull my energy out.
To find out that's the one thing you've been doing this whole time would be really good.
You got to go to my energy guy.
But I have landed on. There's a bunch of different accounts. I think this is my favorite account on here right now. And it just so happens that the one I saw recently, she has partnered with this company. I don't know what it is. Let's play a little bit of it. You tell me what you think about the whole genre, I guess.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We're gonna do a cheeky detox, okay? Cheeky detox. This is energy healing. Make sure you're consenting.
This is a big part of this. I want to point this out. You do need to consent to having this happen. That's a part of it, because if you don't do it, then something might happen. So do you? Are you holding your...
I literally have a headache. Something behind my eye hurts.
Okay, can you are you going to look at the video?
I'm looking at it with my one good eye here.
Okay. So I think she's really fun. I think her name is Ella. I think she's really fun. And she says silly stuff. And she's got that accent that just puts a smile on my face. I can't help it. But she will pull the negative energy out of you and tens of thousands of others. And what I can't quite understand how it is happening, or how she's purporting that it is happening. But it fascinates. You already felt it?
I'm sorry. I started to feel it, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, well, let's keep it going then.
And I can begin, okay?
Well, she hasn't even started yet, so I don't know what you thought.
That's how powerful it is, I guess.
Wow, that's a big effect.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Tell her to stop, dude.
Should I stop it? Is it too intense?
Fuck. My headache's gone. No, it's not.
But wouldn't that cause, if it was gone, wouldn't that cause some turmoil for you?
Yeah.
It would almost be a problem, right? But basically what she's doing, she's moving the chi around in your body.
Yeah.
Which I have a very limited understanding of. I think the belief is that it is it is like a life force. Think of it as the force from Star Wars. It
Okay.
exists inside us and all around us. Okay. And she's kind of doing Yoda stuff to it to make you feel
Gotcha.
better. And I guess in this, I have the same questions. I'm going to play. I have the same questions about this as I do about.
Feeling that in solar plexus region, large intestines.
Yeah, I feel it down there.
I feel that I have the same questions about this as I have about the vitamin infusion, which is okay. So say you're watching. Well, what? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, that's a good across the board question, right? But like, I think when you're watching this, let's say we buy in completely. If I have something wrong with me, how are you fixing it? Okay, well, maybe we don't know. But what if someone who doesn't have anything wrong with them at the moment watches it? Does it do anything to them?
So how come you're moving my chi around? It's not moving on its own, or it gets stuck or something. I'm trying to understand it.
But the belief system also seems to be that the chi goes where the chi is supposed to go, where it's needed most, because it is a conscious entity within you.
Well, then stop moving it around.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna fuck it up.
Why are you messing it up so much? Why did it get out of whack?
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong to it?
You're just being a hater.
I'm not trying to be. I want to
try 2 questions into the thing, and they're like, "Well, you either get it or you don't." I don't know what to tell you. Sounds like it's just not for you. Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be. I may be finding that I'm not open to alternative explanations as to why I'm so fucked up.
You got to be open. You have to be willing to receive the energy or whatever.
But see, I agree with that, and I think the same thing applies to the IV drip. I honestly do think the same reasoning applies. You have to be open to the idea that when you go and sit down and you get some saline and some vitamin C in your bloodstream, that something good will happen.
Right.
It's the power of positive thinking. I think it's the same concept, which to me doesn't speak extremely highly of going to an IV drip place if functionally to me it appears to be the same as an Australian lady waving her hands around in front of her iPhone, you know.
Yes.
So what you're doing is just moving the chi and the
She's moving the chi around.
Go messing with that.
back into a state of balance.
It's unbalanced.
Fuck. Looks like it's taking.
There we go.
Sometimes
There
it takes.
we go.
Okay, now
Yeah.
pull away some of the ick, alright? Alright.
So sometimes I guess the chi is moved and now there's some bad stuff that's on you still.
Get it off.
Yeah. Well, she's doing it. You see the face she's.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah. But how'd she know that
Did
was
it
a good
stink
one?
or something? Like, what you...
It was harder to pull, I think, because she was exerting more effort.
Okay, we're just gonna transmute this.
Now she has to do. It's like when you throw away the garbage.
Transmute it.
She's trying to put the garbage in the trash can.
There we go.
You had all that garbage in you.
You are looking for a physical product to ingest for a detox.
But here's what I would say. Why would I need that?
Yeah. I'll just rewatch the video.
Just rewatch it as many times as, you know, I need to watch.
You just worked yourself out of a sale, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. You must. It makes me feel like you don't have enough confidence in your abilities if now I have to eat some roots as well, which is what this is, I think, here. This is a pitch for Shilajit, which I think is a sans.
Says the ultimate supplement here.
Yeah, it's like a supplement, but it's like, you know, it's not like some of these other supplements.
It's the fucking ultimate one.
Yeah.
Like.
It's got everything in it. It looks like the stuff that Baron Harkonnen is like soaking in Dune, which is good. And I always felt like that looked like something I'd really like to drink. So this is good for if you also felt that way. You can drink some of this. Apparently, this is a classic folk medicine cure-all, but there's no actual evidence that it has any positive effect.
That's cool. When I was a kid, my grandma had this book of home remedies. So it was like rub some fucking lemon on something like that.
Yeah.
or if you got like a fucking bot fly infection or something like that. I don't know
Sure.
what it was, but it was like full of like these homemade remedies or whatever.
But what did you feel like when you got those?
Yeah, I was like, God damn, save some money going to the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my, and this is my takeaway from this, maybe not from eating the rotten leaf detritus from the maybe that's like a different, I don't know if I would really do. I feel weird when I eat some mushrooms that have been in the fridge for like 4 days. You know what I mean? I don't really know if I could go all the way to eating shilajit or whatever. But it does seem like whether it's watching a video where a lady is waving her hand around your face, or whether your pawpaw is cracking open a walnut and scraping it on your forehead, or whatever the fuck is going on over there. Or you go and you go into a place with some neon lights, and you sit down in a massage chair from Brookstone, and they put some Mountain Dew in your elbow or hand, as the case may be. It does kind of seem like maybe you just, if you feel like somebody wants you to feel good, maybe you'll feel a little better, you know?
Maybe it's all in your head.
Or maybe you'll get a splitting headache afterwards too. Not really sure. But I guess let's talk about the place we went. I'm of two minds, because I want to give an honest retelling of what we did, but also it's a local business, and I have no ill will. They seem like nice enough people to me. But it's a hydration focused business in Hendersonville is where we went. And it is I don't know. What'd you think about pulling up to it and walking in? What was the thought process?
Yeah, I thought it was, well, now that you've said where it was, the city it was in, I can't really describe the outside of the building, so you kind of put me in a tough spot here, JF, but I'll power through. I thought it was a great looking building from the outside, kind of nondescript, kind of your average building. Basically, if you drove by it on any random day, you probably wouldn't even notice it was there, because it just fits in with the other buildings that are in the
Wait, I actually have a fun
area.
I have a fun exercise for this. Okay. Picture a building in your mind right now.
Okay.
Oh, no, not like that. No. Make it more buildinger, and then yes. Like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Like wait, hang on. Let me move the door over. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like
over there.
The door was over there. Now you guys have in your mind what the place was that we went. I will say the way that I scheduled it was a little bit unorthodox, which is maybe, you know what? Maybe that's maybe these places are unorthodox in general, Mike, and maybe that's what makes them so powerful. I kind of expected, this is how dumb I am, and I'm sort of stuck in my ways, and I'm a fuddy-duddy a little bit. I wanted to call the place up and just get it on the books for that day. Was how I was going to approach this. So I called, and then nobody picked up, and then I got a text message back that was like, "Hey, sorry. Did you want anything?"
That's cool. That's cool.
Which is a little different.
Real fly by night operation, maybe over there. I don't know. So we go in, right, and we sit down in these massage chairs, which are just, I mean, they're uncomfortable.
You didn't find them comfortable?
They're not good.
Do you like any massage chairs? Have you ever sat in one that you thought was good?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. They're kind of always very hard, aren't they?
They suck so bad.
Because instead of, this is what the thought of the massage chair is like, where all the soft cushiony parts normally are, let's put some round
hard
metal
nodules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me sitting on that going, oh yeah, this is better.
And for most of the time you're sitting in it, it's going to be reclined back in a way that's uncomfortable.
Just a little bit of recline only. Not too much, and you can't control it.
So anyway, we go in and we sit down, and we're filling out some forms. And this lady, who is the nurse?
Right? Yes. Which that's one thing. That was one thing that was my wife's concern is, are the people there medical professionals? Concerns. Well, it was only after the fact, though. Honestly, that the concerns were really brought up. But yeah, I think it probably is a legal requirement if you are administering any intravenous fluids.
Yeah. And I gotta say, okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Everything went how it went.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. It's over with.
Yeah.
But when you hear nurse, right, you think, oh, it's a nurse. Fucking,
I do. I know I do.
It's the nurse. And she's
Guilty.
like, oh, I'm in the ambulance and stuff for like, I only do this for like 1 day a week, 2 days a week, something like that.
Yeah.
But then I went back in the other room there. I didn't even tell you this or whatever. She's like, it's still in school, which is fine.
Oh, okay.
But written down on the notebook was stuff about protons and electrons. And it's just, I don't want to see that from my nurse when you know what I mean? Just makes me feel like you're just starting out to be a nurse for some reason.
Hold up. She's doing proton stuff?
She's doing other schoolwork, which is fine. But it makes me feel like you're not like a, seasoned nurse or something. You're like a fucking, you're in college and this is like a gig or something.
Hold up.
It scared me a little bit.
Wait a minute. Well, I didn't know this. Are you... Okay.
She was doing protons, electrons, Jay.
I will say that we shouldn't make it about her because she was very nice.
She's very nice.
She was very, very nice, and I have every confidence in her ability. And also, I will say,
I'm a
look,
big fan of her work.
That's more of you. That's you physically. That's you. Bro. You have some kind of physiological.
It happened to you too. All right.
Well,
let's talk about it.
Let's
get it all out there.
I just what I'm remembering now in retrospect is the phrasing. The exact phrasing used was I work on an ambulance. So am I now, is she driving it?
Possibly driving it, possibly cleaning it.
Are you doing like crazy taxi stuff? Okay. It's fine.
This was the worst thing I've ever let you talk me into.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't take a ton of training to administer an IV. We could probably do it in a day. In fact, that's my pitch for the next YKS. I think we should go in. I think we should go in. I think we should take a class on how to get, because what do you do really when it comes down to it? You put the little latex thing around the arm, the vein pops up, you go, whoop, there it is. And you're off to the races.
Sounds simple. Sounds like it shouldn't take 3 or 4 tries to hit the vein. But again, that's maybe on me for having these little veins or something.
Apparently, you have deep veins. Is what it is, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah. Your
veins are really down in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Covered by this layer of fat tissue. Your veins are very special in that way. She's trying to make me feel good.
You think you have a fat inner elbow? Come on.
Yeah, we see this a lot. We have meaty elbow insides of elbows. This happens a lot.
She didn't say meaty. Don't say that. She didn't call you meaty. You had a difficult time. I don't know. I'm sure you've given blood or had blood taken from you forcibly or anything like that.
I don't consent to anything like that. No.
Okay.
My blood is my own. So
yeah.
I'm not donating it to any, because they're just going to waste it on something,
Well, because you also feel like the person who signed up for the blood donation drive was the corporation version of you, and you as an individual entity didn't submit, right? Because of the admiralty laws and stuff you've been telling me about, which is some fascinating stuff. I had a problem too, and she didn't say anything about my meaty elbows, but what she did say was that my vein blew, which
is not something you want to hear. Also, not something you want to hear when the nurse who's studying electrons, protons, goes up to the bag, the IV bag, and squeezes it. It didn't make me feel confident that there was not going to be air pushed into my veins. I know it's probably not a possibility. There's a nurse probably listening to this.
It's probably not.
That's normal. I do that 100,000 times a day. I know.
Yes.
We're in a fucking massage chair in a fucking IV drip place in what looks like a house. This was a different setup. Okay. This was scared out of my wits, poking on me.
How long were you getting poked on?
She poked on me so long. She was like, "Let's give you a rest." and come back. So no. So we get the IV drip, you know.
She ended up having to go in your hand, right? Didn't she have to go in your hand?
In my hand, yeah.
Yeah.
All bruised up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you bruise easy?
What? No, dude. Fuck no.
Okay.
What?
It's not about it doesn't matter. I just wonder if you easily bruise or do you only bruise when you're being stabbed a bunch of times?
Yeah. Usually when I'm just stabbed a bunch, it starts to mess up my skin layer, yeah.
Interesting. You do have an interesting physiology. You do, your body is kind of you're doing some different stuff. Yeah, we were in the chair. You know, we opted for. I guess we should say there was a lot of different options there, right?
There's a ton of different options, and that's what's so great about this place. They give you
right.
So they separate it into full bag and half bag, I think, which is an interesting way to do it. But how else are you gonna do it? It's an IV drip place, whatever.
Yeah,
but I don't know. The clientele, I guess, is people who want to cure the hangover, but also there's like an older lady in there who is, I'm sure, getting like some type of. Was she getting a skin and nail? Did you ever hear what they were talking about?
I did my best to eavesdrop, but I was unable to divine what it was that she was there for. I don't know.
It's a small fucking place. I couldn't even make fun of the stuff to you privately, which was killing me the whole time because I wanted to so bad.
I know. I wanted to talk so much shit.
Small.
Yeah. But I think, I don't know if it's true of this place, but a lot of these places, I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, as far as like keeping the business afloat, like which is more the moneymaker. But I do think some of them are administering IVs in a medical capacity also, not just in this like restorative wellness capacity too. Yeah. One of the other places I called around was like, you need a referral if you're doing the medical side of it. I don't know what that stuff is, but if you're doing the vitamin stuff, no big deal, walk right in, which again does kind of set the stage for like, okay, if I don't need a doctor's referral, like ultimately what am I doing exactly? I'm not sure. It seems like a lot of times, I mean, you really think the doctors are going to let you go do something good for you without them getting a taste of it? I mean, that's Mike, it's almost hard to believe. With that said, there are a few different options at this place in particular. There is there was the COVID cocktail one.
Yeah, I didn't want that one at all.
I said I've already had it a couple times myself. But that's got stuff like B12, vitamin C, and this vitamin C crucially doesn't come from corn, which I didn't know was even a concern. I didn't know that's where we got vitamin C from corn, but apparently you can get non-corn vitamin C. You can get 6 different B vitamins, and I was happy with one, honestly. Plus B complex, amino acids, all this stuff in there. You can get half or full bag of that. You can get the hair, skin, and nails, right? So you got zinc in there, electrolyte, biotin, which you can get that in lotion, I think, right?
Also pill form, you can take that. All these things that you can get in pill form, the vitamins and stuff. Yeah. Magnesium.
So is that what it is? It's the same stuff that's in the pill, but it's in the
IV form.
The IV that goes into your arm. And this is if you don't want to eat a pill, you could do this.
I mean, hard. I'm not sure who it's for. Like I said, it's for the bachelorette parties or whatever. It's so.
But specifically the hangover stuff is, but then there's this other stuff here. We got an original cocktail of theirs. And I would also say calling it cocktail, maybe to me, I'm kind of like, I got a cocktail in my arm. I don't know. But maybe I'm just missing the mark on the marketing here as much as I love marketing. B12, vitamin C, B vitamins, B complex, and magnesium. And magnesium, I think, has started to become sort of an in vogue treatment for relaxation or like a sleep aid, basically. And I don't know if you came out of there. We only did a half bag. We didn't do the full bag. Did you come out of there? Were you tracking your energy levels afterwards? Did you feel more or less energetic, or about the same?
I was sleepy, but
you were.
Maybe that was a combination of things. I don't know.
What else could possibly have made you feel sleepy after that?
I ate a big pizza when I got home.
Okay. Okay, so your pizza molecules were moving more quickly at that time.
I had a huge Thanksgiving dinner with turkey and turkey and stuffing and gravy and stuff like that. As soon as I got home.
Okay. That's not bad. Mashed potatoes can help eliminate free radicals as well. So
yeah, that's another thing. The free radicals.
which is apparently a real thing. That's apparently real.
I was trying to record surreptitiously. I got a couple of voice memo notes on here. I was trying to record her talking, her whole spiel, so that we could play it, but I was too scared of getting caught by her.
Right.
Thing.
Right.
So I broke it into a couple different files. As soon as she would start to walk over, I would kind of pause it, kind of put it away in my hoodie, and you could hear the of that. So that's not great.
Okay.
This woman's terrified me, Jay.
Well, can I tell you that? And I didn't know that, but I'd like to share something of my own. And in fact, I was actually maybe doing right by her. I took her up on her offer because there is a specific amino acid that they promote in their treatments here called glutathione, as sort of being a catch-all, doing a lot of different things. Energy, weight loss, focus, mood enhancement, pain relief, liver detoxification.
Wow.
It can also offset the toxicity of chemotherapy here, reading from their website. So of course we threw that in. And she did say, she was like, she's like, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a skeptic, but I do want to look stuff up as well. And I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. And she said, you can even Google glutathione. And I thought, well, if it's good enough for a nurse to Google, I might as well Google it as well. So I was Googling it in the chair, and then when she would walk over to me, I would throw my phone on the floor so she wouldn't see that I was
right.
Because I think it's cooler for me to just take it at face value and say, yeah, that sounds right to me. I get what you're saying.
Instead of live fact checking stuff, maybe that's
yeah. Because what would I have found on the Google search that would have gotten me out of the predicament I had put myself in?
Now hold on.
It says here this study is not peer reviewed, so can you go ahead and back it out of my...
What about what this guy on Reddit here says?
Yeah, so I was also experiencing, right around the time that my vein blew, I think I was experiencing some
I think I
regret.
Seriously, I feel like this is the way it went, right? She did you first. And she starts working on you and she says, "Oh no." Or what did she say? She said like, "Uh-oh," or something.
Yeah, it was something that sort of made me perk my ears up.
You're the guy doing it, so.
And, to her credit, she did say, "Don't worry, there's not like a risk of death or anything."
Yeah, she was like, "Can you actually pull this up on YouTube real quick?" So, how to do IV? You don't have to do the dots, just IV.
Yeah, I'm not a nervous guy, but I will confess to being a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it was a stressful experience, and I will say, old women go there to relax.
Right.
So it was kind of.
So what is it about us that this didn't, vibe with us? What did we do? That's where I came away with this from. I came away from this thinking, what did we do wrong?
I think going there maybe was the first one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But say what you will about the place, JF. Does it work? Does it not work? Say what you will, but it was cheap.
Well, it wasn't too cheap. It was we were out the door for about 350 bones. Which is you figure you go to you and your buddy, you go get a massage together, which would be fine to do.
Yeah. That's next week.
I told my wife that we got it on special because it was February, and she said, "Oh, like a couples thing?" And I said,
"Yeah,
no.
It was a couple. We had to pretend to be or holding hands the whole time.
Wasn't a couple."
And she's like, "So what?" We're like, "Oh, we're planning our wedding, so we're really stressed out." And I was just like making it worser because she was like, "Oh, where's the wedding?" And I was like, "Acapulco." She's like, "Oh, that's interesting. Are you guys flying people down?" I was like, "Yeah, we're flying."
Yeah,
our family. We have huge families. I have 32 cousins.
And then she said, "Let me see the boarding passes." And it was like, why do we even Why? And so of course we had to go buy the tickets.
Yeah, we had to go buy the fucking tickets.
So $350 was cheap compared to airfare for 32 people. I mean, and then she said, "Do you have any extras?" And of course we said yes. So now she's,
now
anyways.
she's coming. So now we have to really get married.
Now we have to get married.
This turned into a whole thing.
All I wanted was some vitamin C, and now I got to get married to my friend. What the hell? That's funny saying it out loud, but that was like basically the plot of a movie.
Yeah.
You can get anything. You can get anything made these days. Well, I think sort of final takeaways from maybe not this place in particular, maybe just let's go ahead and talk about the entire idea that this is even possible. I'm going to put this squarely in the bucket of, maybe not unless you really need something on the double.
Yeah. You're on death's door, maybe.
Yeah.
Spend all night down there on Music Row. Maybe it is good for you. Get some fluids in you.
I don't see anything. I don't see anything. It's cheaper than getting in a damn ambulance and go to the ER. Make
sure the fella doing it to you knows what they're doing. I'll say that much.
Well, or if you have something wrong with your veins, maybe figure it out before you walk in. I think probably it's about as good as drinking water regularly and having a
Pedialyte Gatorade.
A balanced diet of fruit and vegetables. You can get a lot of this stuff from. Mm-hmm. Getting up and walking around every now and then, maybe popping a multivitamin if you can remember it on a certain, couple days a week. I think you're probably going to get almost all the way there if you're able to do that kind of stuff.
Vitamins have like 6,000% of your daily fucking vitamin C or something. You're good to go.
They do. And that's the thing is, those are also very, very inexpensive. I think that maybe the one problem is that a lot of times it's hard to remember to take your vitamins and do your exercises and drink your water. So I get where
it's a lot easier to have somebody jab a fucking, and the needle was huge. It was a big needle. Scary. I don't like it.
It wasn't a big needle. I didn't know that you had sort of a phobia, or I didn't know that you were sensitive to.
She carried the needle in with both hands, like this. Like it was a party sub. I got excited. I thought it was a party sub.
You thought it was a party sub. I knew it wasn't because I knew that she had strapped it around her waist like a bee's stinger. And I knew it wasn't a foot long stuff. When she got up on the chair and started
she jumped off the platform.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it just missed. And it just barely missed. She said, "I'm going to have to do it again." And you said, "Oh, brother." Yeah, that part tipped me off that this was not your typical.
Yeah. Fun to go outside for an hour and then feel like you're dying. Always fun.
Yeah. I think. What did you think of the setup? Well, okay. Aside from the IV, were you relaxed by sitting in the chair and having the TV in front of you that we didn't really turn on until the last minute, and then it was signed in to the Fire TV stick on someone else's profile, and they were in the middle of watching a series that I didn't have any interest in watching, and I didn't want to mess up their place in the series, so I turned the TV off right away.
They were watching The Shield. We could have picked that up. I don't know what they were watching.
We could have watched The Shield. I've never seen it, but I
just watching The Shield and getting an IV drip. Yeah, the TV wasn't on, but what was on was the radio, and they were playing those classic, new country tunes by those classic guys. Bradley Brantley or whatever the fuck.
Well, rip in peace, Tony Keith just passed. So you gotta give it up for that guy just having passed away after a long battle with racism and stuff like that. I think is what got him in the end. Is too bad. I still feel like he had a lot of songs left to sing about putting boots in places, but I don't.
We're just heating up for another war. He could have rolled out another platinum hit.
Unfortunately, he got very sick and frail and died. So we're not able to hear what he would have.
Used the IV drip. You need 6,000% of your fucking vitamin C ASAP in your bloodstream.
Oh my God, I would love to get what the celebrities, and maybe that's the next step here. Is we've sort of gotten the layperson's IV drip, but getting on that shit that made Michael Jackson go crazy.
That's what we need.
getting some of that in you, that would not be you talk about relaxing. I don't care what's on the Fire TV at that point. You start getting some of that in me. One of those doctors who will come to your house,
Hit us up when they make the Dilaudid clinics or the propofol clinics or something like that.
Go ahead and vote Joe Biden in one more time and see if that's not what you end up with. Wait, San Francisco, Chicago. I mean, look, I don't have to tell you about it. You know how it is. You know how it is with these
shitholes.
Shitholes.
San Francisco, these Democrats, JF.
It's these Democrats. And their shithole. The crime is free to do. I think what I would say to this place. Not that they asked, and not that I'm welcome back. And you're not either because you're bad veins. But I think that what helps me when I go to a place. You know what I realized? This is what I really think on this. This is what I really think. Sometimes I'll go and I'll get a massage at a place. Yeah. Now, what I think I like about it, it does feel good to have somebody stick their elbows in like the part of your back you can't reach. I mean, that feels good. It just does. But I also do think part of it is you go into like a dark room and they're playing some Enya and someone talks nice to you for about 45 minutes.
Right.
I think that honestly feels almost as good as anything you can think of, because the rest of your life, the rest of the world you're walking around in is like, it's harsh.
It's insane. It's loud.
It's loud. No one's nice to you. It doesn't feel good to walk around in. You know what I mean? So if this were me, if I were doing this, and it's, this is not my aesthetic. But I would say, let's turn the lights down low. Okay, turn the light on when we're doing the needle stabbing. Okay, but then after that part's over with, I think we can dim the lights, right?
Turn off honky tonk badonk donk. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Don't need to hear it right now.
Yeah. What if it was what if we were returning to innocence in there?
Yeah.
And instead of drinking out of my big red Solo cup, don't you think that would kind of give you a little more?
That was like a stay in the truck or something.
There really was. It was so close to I want to fuck my truck. It was crazy. I cannot believe. We should know we live here, but I can't believe that's what actually is on the radio. It's wild. Dim the lights, right? Yeah. Put something on the TV that's like a visualization, like something you would put on for like a dog, where it's just like, it's just lights and it's just shapes, movements, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And come out and put like a little, what if she came out, instead of walking out and saying like, hey, can you guys keep it down? I'm trying to finish my homework in here. If she came out and instead put on like a sleep mask that has gel in it to cool your eyes.
Yeah.
And you just had like a cold eye for a little while.
I think you just want to go to the spa. This place is not the spa.
What I'm thinking is, what if this place was the spa? Wouldn't that be nice?
What if this place was nice? Wouldn't that be great?
Well, I just think it would be good if it was more of a spa and less of a, you know what I mean? Yeah. Less of like a lot, like a waiting room.
Are running on a thin profit margin, JF, or whatever they.
Sure, yeah.
They have. What do you have? You got rent to pay over there. You got the materials. You got to pay the nurse. Who's in college apparently.
Well, yeah, sure.
You're not paying them that much.
Well, I don't know. Was that $300 worth of cost there for all your licenses and registration and fees?
Yeah, how much are you making? The lady who owns this place is insanely rich. Maybe, that came from somewhere else, but
that's a guess on your part. You don't know that.
It's conjecture.
Total conjecture. It is.
Well,
it is unusual for me. In my mind, it is unusual to pay your nurse via Venmo, but it actually worked. It was more convenient for us. It was more convenient for us to do that rather than getting out.
Maybe they should all be on Venmo.
Well, maybe that's the way we're going, Mike. I don't know. I think this may be one of the rare unsuccessful YKScapades that we've been out on. But I think it was good to know.
I think we also went to that fake weed restaurant that sucked.
You did that on your own. I was not involved in that.
Oh shit! You should go. It rocks. You should go. It's really nice.
I'm sorry about your arm.
and my headache.
That has nothing to do with me. That's your
I've been
own.
vomiting all night, and I can see in the dark.